People, welcome. It is I, Old Man Logan. My hair is not combed, brushed, etc. I'm tired. It's been a week, but we are here. You see KG got his best in the world shirt on. He's ready for war. And this is Hot Take Wrestling Podcast, the actual wrestling podcast, because I heard our counterparts over there on the 1030 show are not talking about wrestling at all. I heard it's just all freaky deep talk over there on Hot Take After Dark at 10:30. So yeah. KG, what's going on, brother?
So you basically told me it's GTV over there. Remember when they kept having these obscure things? They were just flasher and attitude there, and they never really even explained it.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on.
That's what's going on, bro. This is just the how do they say that? They quote the inmates are running the asylum. So
kind of like that time Monday Night Raw had that anonymous GM that turned out to be Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle out there with the laptop under the ring. Classic.
What was funnier, Edge versus the laptop, or Ric Flair versus his coat jacket?
I will take Ric Flair versus the coat jacket for 300, Alex. All right, man. This is episode 159, I believe. So, yeah, 159. We are trucking along, man. So let me go ahead and get these intros out the way. Me and KG are going to do our weekly recap. We got the NXT No Mercy recap. We got to make picks for this week's WWE Saturday Night Main Event. AEW is currently on right now. They got Fright Night that's taking place, series of matches. They are getting ready for both Blood and Guts and was it Full Gear, KG?
Yeah.
And Full Gear. So we'll get some AEW talk in our recap. And yeah, man. So without further ado, let me get these intros out of the way and we're going to get started.
It's the ginger whiskey assassin, the other KG. Hashtag, y'all gotta chill.
All right, KG, what you got for the people this evening?
I was on IG earlier and I saw Bailey had posted a picture with Chris Statlander. You know, that's all these random pictures is the closest we're gonna ever get to an AEW and WWE Forbidden Door happening. That's all I got for now. Nothing too extra yet.
And the irony of that is, I think we could get an AEW WWE Forbidden Door match down the line, but I think that's when the land of TK puts that nice big for sale sign up that I've been foreshadowing for some time now. And when TKO is ready to acquire all that is North America wrestling. Yeah.
Well, and it goes twofold as well, though, because we talk about EOS and all of that. It could be an AEW New Japan type thing going on, too, though, because a lot of their dudes that lost got their win back. Like when Kenny Omega took the NJPW US title off Will Ospreay at the Tokyo Dome. Then that Forbidden Door Ospreay got it back. And then Brian Danielson beat Kazuchika Okada at one of the Forbidden Doors. And I believe he got his win back. I could be mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But I know for sure Zack Sabre Jr. got his win back at Wrestle Kingdom. He had lost at Wrestle Dream to Brian Danielson a couple years ago. And then at their biggest event, which is basically their WrestleMania, Wrestle Kingdom, Zack Sabre got his win back. So
yeah.
So it could be one of those things if AEW ever comes to an agreement. Yeah, you know, there's gonna be some egos involved, but I think people, at least the top tier talents, will probably trade win somehow. I don't think anybody will win more than one match. If it's just a one-off, it's a one-off. But I think the top tier talents will probably end up just trading matches.
Yeah.
Or trading wins.
Real quick before I do my intro, who you got doing the job first? Seth Rollins or Will Ospreay, if they ever have a match? Who's doing first?
That's a question. If they had legitimate beef, I would think Seth would, because he could afford it more so, because you want to make Osprey more so of a household name, because with that exposure to AEW's getting, it's still not quite on the level of WWE, obviously. And for some reason, I don't know why, but that's kind of a thing where people struggle to beat certain talents, they don't have any history. But I think whatever reason, Osprey, I think they said he's like 2-8 in singles matches against Kazuchika Okada. I know I said Sammy's never beaten Drew McIntyre. That's why people were predicting that Drew might eventually take the title off Cody, and that'll probably be Sammy's WrestleMania opponent. If it is the year next year for Sammy to finally get that world championship, which they keep alluding to. But I would personally, like I think Seth could afford it more. Not that Will Ospreay can't afford to lose, but but I think with egos involved, not even egos, I think they'll come to a compromise. I think the person that'll be most protected actually is probably Roman.
Oh,
well, that's what I'm saying. That's how, because you can't have the cornerstones or the quote unquote pillars. You kind of got to split that down the middle, man.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Which is why a Seth why that pick isn't surprising to me, but it is like out of the cornerstone of the guys, he's probably the most not willing, but he's probably the one that makes the most sense to take that L, like you said, because he can afford it. Versus say maybe a Cody at this point or a Roman. I think those two, like, that WWE was like, nah, they're not taking the L at all.
Nah.
Okay. Real quick, good question. I felt like, let me ask this real quick. All right, let me get my intro out of the way, and then we can get all the way started.
It's Big Oos, Old Man Logan, acknowledge him.
All right, good people. This episode is brought to you by Goose Island. This is a Goose Island treat by the name of Tropical Beer Hug. Psych, no, it ain't. We don't have a sponsor, not yet at least. But hey, you saw how I did that, people? Yeah, I'll do that right there. Anybody with a beer, y'all want to come and be the first official sponsor of Hot Take Wrestling Podcast? I will do your beer just like this, and I will tell the truth. Hey, I might not even tell the truth. Beer is trash, but you're a sponsor. I'd be like, hey, it's the best beer in the world.
You're also supporting local with that, though. So
yeah, 9.9 alcohol. Okay, so nice and toasty on a Wednesday. Getting this thing done. Before we get started, as always, bam! Follow us on TikTok at Hot Take Wrestling. Follow us on Instagram at Hot Take Wrestling. Follow us on Twitter or X, whichever you prefer, at Wrestling Take. Follow us on Twitch at Hot Take Wrestling Podcast, YouTube at NMG TV, and we are also on Kick NMG Podcast Network. All righty. So thank you all, as always, for tuning in, checking us out, watching the show, watching Hot Take After Dark. It is Hot Take Wednesdays. We did not do Boulevard Ave this week. Like I said, it's been quite a week, but we will be back, and looking forward to that too. November is coming. November is around the corner. So for Old Man Logan, that means I am finally getting ready to start my live show. And that show is going to be called Let's Talk About It with Old Man Logan. So that'll be live for an hour, 30 minutes to an hour each day, starting in the new month with it, which is November. So you guys can see my mug. I think the 31st is Friday. So starting Saturday, let's talk about it with Old Man Logan. All right, KG, you ready to get into this, man, for the wrestling, the weekly recap?
Yeah, man, let's go.
All right, let me see. Last but certainly not least, good people, if you just so happen to be checking us out right now and you got a hot take, you got something about wrestling you want to talk about with us, I am going to throw the link out there in the comment section. You'll be able to see it on YouTube. You'll be able to see it. I'm not sure exactly where else you'll be able to see it, but you'll definitely be able to see it on YouTube. You can come on, we'll add you on, you ask your question. You might have a question for KG, you might have a question for me, you might have a question for both of us, just being that we both are wrestling fans. And boom, we can go, and you might have some people you want to shout out to. I want to definitely extend that opportunity and that chance. So There we go. That is out there in the comment section. KG, I am about to play the weekly recap for you, homie. 1 second.
And now, your week in review.
All right, KG, floor is yours.
This episode of Weekly Recap is sponsored by Catching Strays. Punk came out on Monday Night Raw. He trolled Jey Uso with the running back. Thought that was pretty hilarious. Obviously, still with the little Roman thing or Jimmy's little brother. It's one of those situations where I think somebody is outmatched, obviously, on the mic, but I'm hoping they have good enough chemistry where we'll get into that later for their match on Saturday, though. Going back to Friday Night SmackDown, I just thought it's interesting that Drew McIntyre obviously would benefited the most had he been the one behind Jacob Fatu's, backstage attack. But with that being said, I'm like, so nobody's suspecting MFTs, the guys he's been beefing with since when did they turn on, or since Money in the Bank, So nobody suspected the MFTs to be behind the attack on Jacob Fatu. They just automatically jumping on, assuming it's Drew McIntyre. But I just think it was obviously time, like I said, for Cody and Drew to get into that feud. They had Jimmy bouncing from show to show, which, like I said, is fine. We don't need people doing that every week. But like I said, I don't think anybody should be holding the one brand. Maybe the world champions, but everybody else, I think it should kind of be like a free for all with everybody to just bounce from show to show to a degree. Should have saw this coming from a mile away. Storm was coming, basically. So heel turn by Jay. I'm not gonna say it was long overdue. They're being such a powerhouse. You almost kind of get into that. Not as bad with the women because you have your Raquel Gonzalez's, you have your Charlotte Flairs, Bianca Belair, etc. People, if I'm forgetting anybody, just feel free to name them out there for me. Even Tiffany Stratton, she's a little bit smaller, but she kind of has some power moves in her arsenal as well. But it's like you turn someone face, you kind of have to try to humanize them in a sense. And that's why I felt like one of the reasons why Braun Strowman's run on other than because at the time all you had was like Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, guys like that, where if he's a babyface you kind of need somebody believable to put him up against. And at the time, Roman was on television, so you didn't have too many believable guys. But it kind of goes to that Jade aspect. It's like you need enough believable women or women that are heels outside of Nia Jax and like I said, Raquel's on Raw though, so it was one of those situations where maybe it was just time for that turn. Not that she wasn't clicking with the fans, but if they're adamant about keeping Tiffany in that realm of being the face of SmackDown on the women's division, at least in the single side, because obviously Charlotte and Alexa are still prominent, very prominent. So I think it was just time for that turn to a degree. So Dragunov is continuing the U.S. Open challenges. I thought him and Aleister Black had a pretty damn good match. I'm a little surprised we went with Aleister again because he just came up short against Sammy a few weeks ago, give or take. I thought that maybe they would have went with Miz. I know they're officially about to get started with that feud, him and Carmelo, I think, starting next week. So that was a thing where Melo's officially, that was a big highlight too, that Melo's officially turning face because he cut the promo talk about letting the fans down or he wants to live up to his potential type thing. I thought it was, I'm going to say long overdue, but I think we discussed it last week or 2 weeks ago where it's one of those things where, he might not have a high ceiling as a heel, at least right now. Because we don't want to keep going back to the Shawn and Diesel thing where the smaller wrestler has the heavy hand. It's been done. Not saying it doesn't have a place for it anymore, but I would like to see a full-on stable built around, if you're going to do the smaller wrestler and maybe have a tag team around them, something like that. I'm not talking Seth Rollins and J&J Security. But thought Raw, hell of a women's tag team title match between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss against Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. I just saw the tail end of that highlight wise, so I try to stay off of IG. I thought the Kabuki Warriors actually interrupted the match. I didn't know it was a definitive finish. But definitely go back and watch that if y'all haven't. They kind of protected LA Knight in that match against Braun Breaker, obviously. Just the amount of times he had to keep an eye on Bronson Reed and obviously Paul Heyman distracting and all that. So it's one of those things where still kind of protected, obviously. It's going to this triple threat. I'm interested in this whole Americanos and and Dominic tie-in. I'm not understanding this at all. I think it is hilarious though because once again goes back to a few months ago when Dom saying they needed somebody else added to the Judgment Day. Finn's no, we're not adding. We don't need another member. And like I said, Finn was the one who recruited another member though, so it's like that turmoil is happening. I don't know if this is officially going to be a split up for Judgment Day. It could be leading to that. Like I said, because in a sense, Dom just doing it his own way. He's just not trying to officially welcome any of the Americanos into the Judgment Day type thing. But like I said, Finn full on added a whole member and Roxanne Perez. Solid match with her and Nikki. That leading to that tag match coming up. For a second at the end of Raw, I thought this whole Psycho thing was in the Bailey turning heel because you remember obviously Damage Control. But neither one of them were in it, so it would have been a new version of Damage Control. Because originally Damage Control was, didn't they put Asuka in there though? That's when they turned on her though, right? When they welcomed Asuka.
Once Asuka was in the fold, yeah, they turned on Bailey.
Bailey, okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, Bailey it was Kyrie that was never officially a member of Damage Control because initially it was Io, Dakota, and Bailey. So. I definitely was looking the way she was standing, looked like she was trying to guard Lyra, but then when Raw was going off the air. So, let's see, the triple threat, we'll get to that too. Like I said, and originally that's the old school way to book a triple threat because they said Dom is defending the title against Penta and Rusev. So even though Dom is getting these babyface reactions, the original way to design a triple threat, obviously, trying to make the babyface look like the underdog. Right. So you got Penta against two heels in a sense. One's obviously notorious for cheating. The other one's just a brute of Monday Night Raw who's been placed in a position where, it's not necessarily any higher than he was before, but who knows? Give things time and see where it goes. One of the most underrated wrestlers in WWE right now, JD McDonough, went over Sheamus. I was surprised at that. Not that he isn't working his ass off to be in that position to win the match. And like I said, it wasn't clean, obviously. So, but it's still a huge, probably the biggest win in his career, at least on the main roster in the singles realm. Maybe the tag. Obviously, he's two-time tag champion, but and then it's AEW. I don't know where this John Callis family stuff stops, where it starts or where it ends. I think there are about 10 members now, give or take. Like I said, this is AEW's NWO. I thought
ridiculous.
I thought Takeshita was gonna turn at because I didn't get a chance to finish last week's episode until recently. That was the only thing I didn't really finish from last week. And in terms of WWE and AEW, I thought that was gonna lead to that turn right then and there, but just a slow build. Obviously, he just got the New Japan World Heavyweight Championship. I think Okada's going to have to cost him that before Takeshita officially leaves the family. I think that's the way it's going to have to go down. Just, obviously the tension's been there. They want to lead to this feud eventually. But the fact that he just got the title leads me to believe it's going to still take a little while to simmer before Takeshita either he leaves or is removed from the family type thing. Like I said, women's tag title, they announced their bracket for that tournament based off of last week when Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata, there you go, were able to choose their opponents. I'm surprised that they picked Sky Blue and Julia Hart because of the fact that they already had that backstory of that feud. Do I want to pick early? Like I said, I had picked them just because of the Freebird rule potentially, right? Julia Hart and Sky Blue. But if, we don't know who's under the throne, Mercedes Moné, obviously. I said Queen Aminata. I'm not the biggest fan of the double champion thing, especially now you got Mercedes Moné running around with 12, 13 belts. So I'm kind of over that. But it would be nice, and not that she's not ready for a single switch, but I would just like to see that, because she's one of their more underrated talents in their division. So it'll be one of those things where she's not the person to do that. At least give her the tag titles with Jamie Hayter, because Jamie Hayter's her world championship run, I think partially got cut short because of injury, or they might have been ready to take it off of her period, and then she got injured. I can't remember which way or the other, but definitely one of their more over talents right now in that division, in the women's division for sure. Jamie Hayter is, and like I said, it will give Emanata a good spot to get more TV exposure because I know she's normally either on Collision or I think they were utilizing her in Ring of Honor for a little bit as well. So I would like to see that. And I didn't get a chance to see that match on Collision because I in and out of Collision. I know they did the 8-man tag for another quote unquote jackpot with the Bucks. Hit a team with FTR against Jet Speed and Jurassic Express. So not sure it was the result of that. I meant to go back and watch that though because it sounded like that could have been, a hell of a match to go back and watch.
Real quick, what day does Collision come on now? Like,
It's normally Saturdays, but it fluctuates because I want to say because the NHL is back.
mhm.
Oh no, it was because of I think it might have been baseball playoffs, maybe, but it's normally on Saturdays unless they have an event that Saturday, in which case it's either on Thursday. I think it's always Thursday, the day before a pay-per-view. So
Okay.
if the pay or less, and then another exception, but the pay-per-views on a Sunday is always on. It's still so Saturday is a standard night unless a pay-per-view is on Saturday. To answer your question, then I think they bump it back to Thursday. But if they have a pay-per-view on Sunday, I think they leave it on that Saturday. The time slot just varies
Gotcha.
because of
I'm
like
never able
TNT.
to like
Yeah,
pinpoint what day to like. Okay, this is the day to watch that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I think it's just due to, and then it's also due to like potential programming. Like I said, like maybe sporting events occasions because with these new contracts, it's because TNT lost the NBA, so I think
Yeah,
they're just trying to make sure they don't lose other programming as well. Because I know the NHL is occasionally on TNT, so it could be due to that as well.
yeah.
I don't think they're getting bumped yet for NHL. I think they're going to playoffs, but you wanted to go over Halloween Havoc? I saw some of those shows, but I didn't get a chance to.
Sure. So before I do that, though, man, you did go over Monday Night Raw, and you highlighted these matches, but I definitely wanted to put my 2 cents in on it because I really enjoyed the LA Knight versus Braun Breaker match. I felt like that was pay-per-view level in terms of the presentation,
Yeah,
the time that it got, and the guys were, man, it was a great match. Like, I really enjoyed that match. I even gave it such a compliment. I was talking to one of my homegirls today, and I told her, to me personally, I said, when people talk about the Ruthless Aggression era in terms of match quality, I put it up that high. Like, I felt like it was that good. So kudos to LA Knight, kudos to Braun Breaker. I thought they put on a show. I thought they put on an instant classic on Monday night with that particular match. I wasn't mad at Braun winning either. I thought it was just a great performance by both of those guys. Same for Penta and Miro, also known as Rusev. I want to call him Miro, man. I wish they would have just came back as Miro. But we know how WWE is about stuff like that. But I thought they had a great match. Of course, we got the interference from Judgment Day and the Grande Americanos. I don't know who the other two are anymore. I think that's just a revolving set of guys, whoever is in it.
I think you were right initially. I think it is Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. The shorter one definitely is Tyler Bate. You could tell by the build.
Yeah. And I was just looking, I'm like, yo, I don't know who this is at first. I think they used the Creed brothers at one point initially. I don't,
I think the small one's always been Tyler Bate. I think the other one, I did say Pete Dunne, or it might be because did they take Regal's son off of TV down in NXT?
Regal's son was supposed to get written off of TV, I think.
I think the taller one is him because Pete Dunne is looked at. Now that I think about Pete Dunne is not that tall. Pete Dunne's about the same height as like Santos Escobar and guys like that. That guy looks too tall to be Pete Dunne because he looks almost. I think it's Regal's son.
Yeah,
the
and
taller
one. I was like, that doesn't look like Ludwig Kaiser. It didn't look like Ludwig Kaiser to me.
No, I think it. I thought it did. I think maybe it's just because he didn't have. I think because he was in full on, like he wasn't in his normal
I
ring
think
here.
they
Maybe.
tried to make sure that he still did like Ludwig like moves as far as like his taunts or whatever, but it didn't look like him. Like the other times, like you can kind of tell he's tan, whatever. I don't know if they just told him not to get tanned or whatever, but I was just watching. I'm like, I didn't know who the three were this week, but I thought that was a good match again. I'm looking forward to that triple threat that's going to take place on main event. We'll talk about that later. The women's tag team match, like you said, Kabuki Warriors, they came and interfered toward the end of it. I was actually glad to see that, okay, the match had a definitive finish where the champions retained Charlotte and Alexa. But I was happy to see, the Kabuki Warriors come out there, interfere, cause some chaos at the end of it. But the match overall was a good match. And I was just like, for a Monday Night Raw, for me in a long time, match-wise, I thought this was like top tier. And like you said with Punk and Jay, like, has Jay gotten better on the mic? Sure, he's gotten much better, light years better than he was before, but he still can't go toe-to-toe with like a CM Punk on the mic. Like, it's just, Jay has like an organic like following. You know what I'm saying? Not his following isn't organic, but Punk is one of those different set of circumstances where he's just, you like Punk for so many different things, not just for in-ring ability, not just for charm or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you have various different things that you like about Punk that make you like Punk. But let me hold on 1 second, because we got one of the boys back. We got one of the boys from the band back. Let me let him in. Oh, snaps. Wait a minute. Let me get that. You know what I'm saying? Some applause in there right quick. Yeah, round of applause. Yes, sir. Our boy Clutch is back, baby, aka King in a black robe. Hold on 1 second, my good brother. Let me find your intro. Let me get this right for you, and we can go ahead and continue with our conversation here. Hold on.
OMG, it's Clutch Uso, King in a black robe. Ill will, hashtag high takes king.
All right, King in the black robe, the floor is yours, baby. What's going on?
What we talking about if it's not wrestling? I'm here, I'm back, I'm in black, and as usual, I'm ready to talk about some shit. It's been a minute, but it's never gonna be too long of a minute. And it's been a lot of stuff going on, even lately over time, and I'm here for it. What we got?
Well, I mean, the fact that you go by King in the Black Robe, we're not going to halt your push like that time Xavier Woods won King of the Ring. Because, he had a robe and a scepter and a crown. And then Roman stole it. See, that's why he got his J's. That's why he got his J's. That's why he got his J's stolen. That's karma.
That was definitely karma. And it looked like you have on the black robe, sir. Am I correct?
I feel like a belt should came to that, but
All right, so bro, what we doing
So
before
what?
I get to it? I said it looked like you got a black robe on. Uh-oh, got a little distortion going on.
I do.
Okay. All right.
Right
so, bro,
on.
before I continue, because I was getting ready to talk about the NXT No Mercy results. Did you have anything you wanted to touch on in terms of Monday Night Raw? Because I was just kind of going at length about the match between Rusev and Penta, LA Knight, Braun Breaker, and the Women's Tag Team Championship match that all took place on Monday Night Raw. And I personally felt like KG also thought these were good matches, but I was telling them specifically about those three. I felt like those, especially the LA Knight Braun Breaker match, was of the Ruthless Aggression era in terms of the quality of the match and the presentation, the time it got, all that good stuff. So what's some of your thoughts on it, bro, since you ain't been on in a while?
I just want to start with saying that the main event was repeat worthy, one of the best main events they had, I'll say, in the Netflix era. I'm starting to appreciate, not saying I didn't, I probably was one of the few people that I think did in the beginning, but the Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair thing is working out. Um, the Bailey and Larry Valkyria thing is funny too, but I think that's the first match that both teams chemistry was starting to make sense. I like that they're actually putting like some direction to the women's tag belts, because before that night, well, not before that night, but before that particular match, it was still kind of like what's gonna happen, what to do, who is it gonna go on, that kind of feeling. But I feel like after I saw that particular match, I got like this feeling that they're gonna actually use it to do something with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus it being like a placeholder until they find something for them to do. You know what I'm saying? Like watching that match, I felt like it had more of a purpose with them versus it just being something for them to do right now.
Right.
I kind of agree with what y'all was saying about the flow of that Rusev Penta match. Sad that Rusev has lost as many matches as he has since he's come back, but he's been putting on some good matches. Penta hasn't had the momentum he had at first either, but you see they're still trying, so I appreciate seeing that. But I want to touch on the Braun Breaker LA Knight match. So I got a question. At what point is it going to really be LA Knight's turn? Because you would think after Seth got hurt and he was like the only person that really beat him in this little run that he's been on, that he'd be more in the front and center, or like trying to get the belt back. Losing that match to Braun Breaker said they still ain't ready for him. What is that?
That's a great question. The only thing I will say is everybody doesn't have to have their moment at one of the major events, you know, like Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, etc. That being said, you always want that first world championship, but at the same time, do you really want it to happen in Salt Lake, Utah? You know the Bulls for the Niners about that place. They used to go to the Bulls used to go to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm not trying to because ain't nothing going on in Utah.
Is the WWE getting us doing that? Are they taking a page out of the history books? If CM Punk wins in Utah, much like
the Bulls on that. No, I just think CM Punk right now is the best man for the moment. Like you said last week, we can get the winter of Punk. We can get in the summer of Punk. But that being said, to Will's point, I don't know when his moment's going to click, because I think after Punk, they're going to put it on Braun Breaker more than likely, or you know who else is out there? Who's on the cover for the new WrestleMania graphic?
Hey man, he looking kind of old too now, man. I'm like, I ain't used to seeing Brock looking seasoned like that.
Hey man, he's stressed. You know, he dodged a stray.
Man, a big one.
Yeah,
here comes the pain.
Brock aged like 5 years of one weekend.
So no, I don't see all those. I think it might be Braun Breaker's turn up next. I was telling Tim, man, I said, hey man, as over as he is, maybe his moment won't happen as a babyface. I just think at some point they should put a world championship on him. It just might not be as a babyface though. I don't know, because Punk don't need no super lengthy run. They just need to put it, you know, we know ain't nobody able to cash in now. So whoever walks out gonna have the title at least for probably, I would say, at least to the Rumble.
I think whoever wins this on Saturday carries it in the Mania. And the only way they don't do that is if they're not healthy.
I don't think Jey Uso will carry it that long though. I'm not trying to get on Jey Uso's case, man. I just think that was a tell sign they don't want no long run with him. I think they just kind of rewarded the fact that he was super over type thing. And to Will's point, to answer his question, I don't think they're going to do him like they did Jey Uso either. He only gets it for about not even 2 months. I think LA gets it. He'll keep it for like 90 days. ironically, that's kind of when you get hired somewhere, you do that 90-day trial.
Right.
But I don't know when it'll happen. Maybe WrestleMania. Hell, it might happen in a triple threat though. Maybe Braun is the next one. Maybe LA Knight gets a Royal Rumble. Maybe Braun's throwing in there as a triple threat. Maybe LA Knight beats him or Punk in a triple threat or something. To answer your question, I think it's happening soon. I don't think everybody needs it at WrestleMania to happen either, though, because we haven't had. I think one of the last times we had a major title change at the Rumble's been almost 10 years when Cena tied Ric Flair's record. I think. Don't quote me on that though. If I'm a fact check, I think that's the last time because the next year after that, Brock stole on Braun for no reason.
We told him to slow down.
He told him to slow down. I'm saying there was no title change that night, right? Because oh no, it was no title change because it was two triple threats because the other one was basically a handicap match but it was advertised as a triple threat because it was KO and Sammy when they were heels against AJ.
And the other one was Braun, Kane
for some reason. Yeah, we really needed Kane pushed in 2018.
Let's put Kane in there. Yeah,
I'll let Logan ask their question though about Ellen. I'm gonna fact check myself. I'm gonna fact check myself though about that last inquiry I just threw out there. The last time we really had a title change at the Rumble. I want to say it was Cena in 2017.
And here was my thing, man, because I all but thought LA Knight was gonna go and become the new face of the division. Hell, it still could probably be a possibility. Even though this is the thing, LA Knight don't need nobody to talk for him. And Paul Heyman, while Bronson can cut a promo, he's not gonna get over like that from his promos. Same with Braun, he's not gonna get over from them promos. Like they need a Paul Heyman. LA Knight don't need that. You know what I mean? But I like much like KG said, the moment may not come during a babyface run, but I had to be honest here, man. If they don't pull the trigger with Sammy at the Royal Rumble, I definitely think that could be a moment for LA Knight finally to get his just due. And if they go the route of Sammy, because Sammy's been in line way before LA Knight in terms of being ready and being next up, if you will. Man, put the briefcase on LA Knight. Next time,
yeah, Sammy getting that first turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So
in the line.
And much like what KG touched on earlier, as far as Cody not necessarily going into WrestleMania with the WWE Championship, and it maybe being Drew McIntyre, given the history that Drew McIntyre and Sammy has, that leads a story right there too of, like KG pointed out,
and he's like 0-10 against Drew McIntyre,
being undefeated. So it's an underdog's tale right there waiting to happen. And who's the more lovable underdog and lovable loser, if you will, than Sami Zayn? Like there is nobody. Like that's a story waiting to tell. But is the WWE willing to bank on Drew McIntyre versus Sammy as a main event match, be it night 1 or night 2?
Well, that don't have to be the main event though, because look at Gunther and Jay. They opened the show. Because I don't think necessarily anymore have to pencil that in, because the last time, because night one was a triple threat last year or this year. It wasn't even for the title, so I don't think you have to necessarily have them close the show. Because Sammy already got that nod anyway 2 years ago. So I think, and they made a big spectacle out of that because, for one, they knocked off the longest reigning tag champions, and two, that was the first time a legit tag match main event at WrestleMania. Don't tell me about the deceased and whatever against Paul Orndorff, and because that was
KG being petty tonight. But
that was the main event. I think first it was a tag match, but
But no, like when I say that, it ain't even necessarily a dig at Sammy, because like you just pointed out, Sammy has main evented a WrestleMania already. That's more like, does the WWE have that kind of faith in Drew McIntyre in 2025, 2026?
I think they believe in him. I just think it's more along the lines of we gotta see who else, who else, what type of feuds they're having on the card too, because that was a solid just to get Punk in there they knew Jey Uso or somebody or LA Knight was due to the world title. They knew for Punk, I think it was just about main eventing WrestleMania. So I think they knew they didn't have to have the title on the line for that. But you could put Sammy. I believe they believe in Drew. It's just they believe in Drew. You said that they believe in him because if it wasn't for the pandemic, him and Brock were supposed to close night 2. He just wasn't able to do it in front of the fans, obviously.
And that's what I'm saying. Like he hasn't had that moment. I'm saying in terms of Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Them guys not being on the poster, as you just pointed out, because the guys that's on the poster, right? I don't think they're necessarily going to be. I mean, I could be wrong here. I don't necessarily think they're going to be in championship title matches. I think we will maybe get Gunther versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I think that's why that's there. The Roman match, I don't know just yet. I really felt like we were leading back to maybe Roman versus Seth at WrestleMania until this.
That was a plan.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go with him now. Do they try to force the Rock versus Roman match now, or do they try to pencil that and give us an older Rock and go to 47 with that as a main event? You know what I mean? That could be an option. And with Cody, where do we go with Cody? I mean, to me, I'm thinking, okay, that could be the moment where we finally get Cody versus Orton, a heel Orton. I hear voices Orton, that's kicking people in the head and all that good stuff, like back in his heel bag. Like I'm thinking those guys will be like co-main events. I don't think they will be the main events, the main course at WrestleMania this coming year. So I say all that to say I would love to see Sammy and LA Knight be in those prominent roles because they definitely more than willing. They're more than capable, rather. And I'm sure they're more than willing too, pending any injuries, anything happening in that capacity or fashion.
I'm trying to
something you just seem to think about.
Go ahead, Will.
I definitely got a hot take right now. What if the last two of the Royal Rumble is actually LA Knight and Jimmy Uso?
I wouldn't be mad at that either.
I think the last two people are going to be.
That's realistic as hell.
I think the last two people are going to be Sammy and LA Knight, or
if not the last two, I think a scenario where Big Jim is part of the last four. I think you could definitely make a case for that.
I need them to go back to.
I'll say LA Knight, Sammy, Jimmy Uso, and Drew McIntyre in the bottom four.
I need them to go back to the old formula too, though. We occasionally saw somebody we didn't expect the guy the longest. They did that with Penta, but I mean, I want them to go to like the final four. I need somebody that's been under the radar. And we know they're not necessarily going to win, but it's been long enough for them to actually put Finn in the final four.
Like a debut that went long.
Yeah, because Penta he botched because he was technically eliminated. Yeah, but he had the longest time in the Rumble. But I wouldn't see somebody that's kind of under the radar be in that final four, where it's like the fans might actually get excited for that. Like somebody that's kind of been grinding, but you could also potentially plant that seed for them.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna tell somebody else
a debut that's in the bottom.
Yeah,
four.
I think my final four would be LA Knight, Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu, and
like the year AJ.
I think Dirty Don gonna be. I think Dirty Don gonna be in the final four this year or next year.
Because he's getting hard to deny as well. Because Don been on the tear, man.
I think he'll probably win Money in the Bank next year. But I'm trying to go back to like I said, we'll be after you had you on. We also talking about Jade's heel turn. How you feel about that, man? Jade.
About who?
Jade Cargill's heel turn. How you feel about that, man?
You said about who?
Kind of Jade Cargill's heel turn.
I heard you. Yeah, Jade Cargill's heel turn. I guess I want to wait till Friday to answer that question because in between when everything happened, and I don't want to think that they're gonna play it off like it's not a real heel turn until we see her do some more heel shit. But that's why I feel right now. If she is gonna be the heel that she was supposed to be when she first got there, then Naomi pushed her to 5. About to find out why. Heel Jade Cargill with WWE training is a problem. Heel Jade Cargill was a star and a legend in AEW with worse training than what she has now. So Heel Jade Cargill in WWE is going to be a problem, and a good problem.
Dare I say it?
I say she's been significantly better in the ring, even in her face role, no matter what she's been given. Like the star thing was kind of convenient for her character.
Oh, I think he froze. I think I get what he was alluding to though there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So real quick, I had to fact check myself, and
Yeah, it froze, but I'm back. I don't know why.
Go ahead.
But yeah, finish your thought, bro. Did it freeze again? Oh, there you go.
No problem. But I was just finna finish by basically saying that why am I frozen? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
yeah.
catch up. Just we can hear you though.
I don't know what, but yeah, I feel like if they about to put the championship on her in this role, if it's anything like the last time that happened, we're gonna have to get used to Jade Cargill with that belt for a little minute, and then this is the role that she has to be in for that dream match that everybody been talking about for years before she even got there to even make sense. And this might be why they kind of eased up on fully turning Bianca Belair heel herself, because they probably chose her to do it in this scenario for whatever it's really going to end up leading to. Because let's say Jay get the belt by like Royal Rumble, Bianca Belair come back, win the Royal Rumble. What that's going to be? There's the WrestleMania matches right there.
Right.
It just kind of messed up that Naomi is pregnant, so her input in the story is like out of it. But it'll be literally the way everybody wanted it when she was in AEW and Bianca was doing the Bianca Cena thing. Like, we get to really see it now. If stuff makes sense when we talk about it, but y'all know how this go. If they pull the trigger and do it the right way, they might do all this and try to like make her the big heel that Tiffany Stratton or had to overcome to legitimize her run and her face run and all that shit. And I'm not saying I'm tired of it, but I know Tiffany Stratton's run has a ceiling because Tiffany Stratton is somebody else who's also better as a heel.
Yeah, her whole mannerisms and everything is just it reminds me of like when Seth Rollins had to find his voice, because his voice used to just be
during
like
the Burn It Down era.
Yeah,
it was like it was like Burning Down. Yeah,
and back to my
kind of like Best Woman.
But like I said before, you can't have the face of your brand looking like she has RBF, like constantly.
No, seriously.
Yeah, like I don't remember. I rarely see her smile. Like, and her smile looks legitimate. But back to my point, it's actually been 3 years since there was a world championship change at the Rumble. Bobby Lashley beat Brock Lesnar, because that's when Roman had interfered and Paul Heyman had turned on Brock.
You know what we forgot? How he lost it.
Oh yeah, but I was just thinking, like, what was the last time we saw a major title change at the Rumble? I think that was it, at least for the men. I don't know if the women have had world title change at the Rumble in the last X amount of years.
I
Just
couldn't.
had to correct myself.
Before I get to the Halloween
Bullshit.
Havoc results, question for y'all: does heel Jade Cargill need a manager? Does she need a voice? Somebody to be, you know what I'm saying, her voice, a la Paul Heyman, or is she capable of doing that herself?
They're running. They have slim pickings for that, but I'll let
Nah.
Will answer. I could,
She don't.
yeah, she don't need one, but they also got slim pickings.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, like it'll be like, okay, who? And then if you find anybody, honestly, heel Cargill can talk.
But see, that's why I think they
And
kind
since
of
it gotten a
screwed
lot
up.
better in
Oh, go ahead, Will.
WWE than what it was in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're good. I want you to finish what you were saying.
I said, but that's why I think they kind of screwed up when I know they couldn't foreshadow Seth's
I
injury
was gonna say
and
I
having to
don't think that
rewrite.
mouthpiece part be overly necessary because
Oh, he freezing. While he freezing, KG though, you go ahead and finish your part when he.
I was just gonna say that's why they kind of you couldn't foreshadow the Seth injury, but it would have been cool if because like a Jade Cargill would fit perfect with division, but just the problem is, like I said, they couldn't foresee the Seth injury. That don't mean you can't add somebody else.
Right.
Something different, bro. We don't, you know what I mean? Not that she needs someone to talk for, but like
I mean,
they were
talking.
talking. Yeah, I mean, because they were talking. They were technically Becky was supposed to be a part of it until they kicked Seth out because, like I said, his injury. But there's been something where it's like I wouldn't mind it. Just add a new dynamic to that. Excuse me, to the stable, because when's the last time a woman's been like an active wrestler in a stable that was a prominent stable type thing? Where, because you can't give me Nikki Cross, and I don't mess with the Wyatt Six man. I'm sorry, and plus she don't even wrestle really like that no more.
Yeah. When has been the last time she's wrestled?
Probably that 8-person tag against American Made, maybe on Raw. But
and that's been some. That ain't been a year yet, have it?
It's been a while. It'd be close to a year because they were off TV for a while. Then they put them back on. They put them on SmackDown.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only thing about that. It's funny. This could possibly that. It's funny that you mentioned Becky too, because here we are, another injury. You know what I'm saying? That stems from Nia Jax. Because Nia Jax is what led to that split eyebrow, wasn't it? That was her. That was during that.
I think she did throw into. Yeah, she did throw into the steps. I don't know. Now when she threw, I don't know if she slipped or what.
She did it on purpose.
No, I know, but I don't remember if she like kind of slipped or I know she did throw into the stairs or whatever when it happened. But I don't know. But this is the one time I'm not gonna put that on Nia though.
Yes. No, not saying she did it on purpose.
No, you just said ironically. Yeah.
Coincidence there. Yeah. That happened with Becky and led to Becky's, run as the man. Now enter Jade now because she looks like a badass with that scar there. Like it, she looked like Scar from Lion King a little bit. Like I can see them playing off of that maybe to kind of borrow from what they were doing with Naomi.
Literally from the Lion King, it works for her.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking forward to it. And here's the thing.
Damn, all that shit would have put some cocoa butter on that shit.
Here's the thing. Having Jade there kind of legitimizes Tiffany in that tweener face role now because she's a legit bigger, more dominant, you know what I'm saying, opponent. She already had that nice effect, but
No, absolutely it is. I think this has run its course with this whole babyface thing. I'm hoping because we know we're getting one new champion for sure, but I think it's time for it too. Like I said, I don't. Yeah, they do, but this babyface run is not clicking for Tiffany, man. They might as well just go off the cuff. We know Dom gonna retain more than likely. So. And that way, you got people actually have a reason to pay attention to Saturday night's main event as well.
Yeah,
just go ahead and do that change.
Before we get to Saturday night.
I know you want to go over there. I was just saying that I hope that
No,
they
because
do
I'm like,
this.
this
People
conversation
gotta
is
pay
leading
attention.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want to knock this out real quick so we can go right into that. NXT Halloween Havoc. We did make picks last week, y'all. That's on me. I apologize. I thought for some reason that Halloween Havoc was taking place this weekend, and Saturday Night Main Event would have been the following weekend, but it went the other way around. So we did make picks on last week's episode. So we're gonna go just get a quick results of Halloween Havoc. Javon Evans and Leon Slater defeated Mr. Iguana and La Parca. North American champion Ethan Page defeated Elio Dale Wagner, and Day of the Dead match, excuse me. Blake Monroe, new NXT Women's North American Championship. So she didn't get the big dog title, but she got the secondary joker for sure. So they getting her right to it. She defeated Zaria because Sol Ruka's injured for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Tatum Paxley defeated JC Jane to become the new women's NXT World Heavyweight Champion. So congrats to her. I didn't see that coming. Like, that just lets me know, okay, we got a couple of call-ups that's getting ready to take place.
Yeah. Either that or she's going to get in trouble like her predecessor and try to get on OnlyFans, and then they're going to release her too.
Well, I think there was rumors, and they've been saying, they've all but confirmed Jada Parker's getting ready to get called up. And I'm thinking with JC Jane losing the title after they've had her.
She'll be cool long as she won't try to go on OnlyFans, right?
Yeah,
she's going to get called up too.
I don't think she's going to do that. But I'm thinking we're going to see some call-ups, or just at least some people will get called up as a result of the Rumble, both the women and the men. But Dark State defeated the Hardys to now become two-time NXT Tag Team title holders. So Dark State is back in the title picture for the tag team titles. And our boy Ricky Saints defeated Trick Williams to retain the NXT Championship. And I think Big Trick is on his way to the land of SmackDown to go and tag with his boy, man, Himothy. You know what I'm saying? Carmelo Hayes. So if it's not that, then we'll definitely see him in the Royal Rumble.
Now, speaking of her predecessor, I just realized I don't think nobody from that tough one ever signed to WWE no more. The big three from that class. Velveteen's been gone. Sonya gone. Randy gone. Anybody left from that Tough Enough TV show from that season?
I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I don't think so.
I don't think so, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I have to look it up, but it seems like they all gone. At least
they all gone.
Yeah. All right, man.
Where the cookie crumbles.
They gone. Some of them got rehired and put in NXT, and the Performance Center didn't make it past that. When the Josh dude got straight fired, the only person that was left was Randy.
So is it safe to say, like, because weren't Miz and John Morrison at one point on there? Aren't they like the only success stories from Tough Enough?
I'm gonna say yeah. Well,
I mean, you can call Mandy a success story because she had an NXT Women's title.
She had quite a run.
Can't just scoff at that, obviously.
Yeah.
But I should have yeah.
So she definitely had a good run down there for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But
I couldn't say like. Yeah, you can't say like right back.
You just wait. Maven gonna come back and get that push.
I was gonna say Maven. I just saw he did an interview not too long ago. Oh
no, not Maven.
You ain't trying to play with Maven on 2K25, man?
Hell no.
Hey, they need to make some of the
fame and getting revenge beat on by the Undertaker.
Hey, they need to make the backstage agent
that
downloadable players in 2K26.
It is official.
I'll be a believer if Maven is DLC on 2K26. Okay.
Hey, before we get to the Saturday Night Main Event picks, what would be
the drop kick?
What would be the wildest DLC that you never thought you would see in the WWE game?
Jack Allen.
Not Chris Benoit, like not named
I
Chris
said
Benoit.
Oh wow. We went straight to-
No, because when you go in the creator thing, that people make sure they go and make a beeline to make a Chris Benoit character. Like it happens. God bless the dead, But
Closest thing we're gonna get to Benoit right now is the U.S. champion on SmackDown.
he ain't never lied. Now Will,
I gave my answer.
Dragging off.
That's why I'm just trying to. That's why I asked the question real quick. I know Will gonna dig. I know he's gonna figure something out.
Katie Vick.
Oh shit.
I know what the wildest DLC we could ever see on 2K would be. Y'all ready?
Let's hear it.
Meat. If they put meat on 2K. Sean Stasiak when he was meat.
Oh. What about people that
meat?
What about people that played? What about people that played roles in matches that we never needed to see? Could you like download one of the dogs and the dog kennel match from Hell match?
Oh man, bro!
Like what? They could do like Isaac Yankum.
Sean Stasiak. Didn't they have him like tag teaming with Tess?
Oh, sweet mother. That's fine. Sean Stasiak.
No, he had a feud with him though. Sean Stasiak was teaming with Chaz. That was one half of the Headbangers.
He was teaming with Chaz? Okay.
But
I could have sworn he tagged with Tess
he
for
was
a little
meat.
bit. Meat. Midian.
He
Where's
had Terry
Midian?
Reynolds run on him.
Where's Midian?
No, you're thinking about Sean O'Hare. You're thinking about Sean O'Hare. They tagged for a minute. Stasiak and O'Hare was a tag team second. Look it up.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna check him to it. I'm gonna check it to it. We short our age, man.
And Sean O'Hare would be the superior wrestler out of everybody we mentioned. He would be a crazy DLC too. Moat would be a crazy DLC. Heidenreich would be a crazy DLC.
I almost
Vladimir
said one.
Kozlov would be a crazy DLC.
But they did Kozlov before, remember?
I don't want to get us canceled. I almost said
When they do Kozlov,
I could have sworn they did Kozlov like around the WWE 14.
that's crazy. That's crazy work.
You'd have to Google it to make sure, but I could have sworn they put Kozlov in one of those like before they made it 2K, they was like WWE 14, WWE 15.
I think when he was on it, he was there. He ain't been on the game post like hype. I don't think he's on that since that point.
I just remember him coming back, and he didn't come back, but no, did he come back? He was like Jack though, like he had been in movies for a little bit.
If TK want controversy, you can do a DLC pack toward the end of the 2K like they did with the farewell pack, and y'all could have like the Diddy party pack.
Oh,
so you're gonna have Vito in the dress
with Diddy party pack.
So you're gonna have Vito.
Who's gonna be the
You gonna have Vito in the dress like LeBron was in that maid outfit.
You gonna have Vito.
Talking about he lost a bet. 6'9", 275 in a maid costume. Talking about he lost a bet taking selfies in a maid costume. All right.
Vito,
okay, sure.
Sonny, and who else?
No, we need the FBI in general. Not Vito in dress. No, we need the FBI.
The
full-blooded Italian. Oh, that's what we already got that NXT though. Don and the family, the Don.
Need all of them.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm supporting. I hope they hear this. Put the FBI in the game.
The FBI in the next one, man. 2K26. All right, let's see.
We definitely. I almost said the Mexico. Let's move on.
All right, now. So look, Saturday Night Main Event.
I support the Mexico endorsement. Fuck.
Main Event is only going to be on Peacock this weekend. Okay, so do not go on NBC looking for it. It's only on Peacock this weekend. November 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 Pacific on Peacock in the United States and on YouTube International. We're going to run through these matches right quick, y'all.
Like a hot knife through butter.
In no particular order. I'm going to just run through them, okay? Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio versus Penta versus Rusev. Triple threat match.
Dom.
For shits and giggles,
Dom. It ain't time yet.
the smoothest. Hey, that dude.
The coolest. You know what it reminded me of? Remember that Lupe son? The cool. The what? The coolest. The what?
The way he just bounced into it, that
What?
I'd be like, but I'm just for shits and giggles. I'm pretty sure Dom will retain. But yeah. I'm gonna go with Penta, man. I'm gonna go with Penta.
I think Penta's first championship today is gonna be with his brother.
You think so?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Eventually, Ray gonna need some backup.
I do too.
Ray catching all these strays from MFTs. He got an MFT too.
Right.
He do.
All right. Let's see. WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill.
Jade.
Great.
Be all in unison. Jade, new champion alert. The undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre.
Cody. It won't be until probably Survivor Series if he drops it.
I ain't gonna.
I don't think they're gonna crown two new world champions on Saturday night's main event. That's overkill.
I mean,
one hat.
You know, yeah. By way of injury, we getting a new one anyway. But
Yeah.
Let's see. But yeah. You know what? For shits and giggles, again, I'm going to pick. I'm pick Drew McIntyre. Just in case. Just what if. And last but certainly not least, the match.
I think Jericho debuts on Cody.
On Cody? He's supposedly signed. Yeah, I was going to end the show with that. CM Punk versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title.
CM Punk. This is a slow build for Jay to turn heel, I think.
Jey Uso.
I think Jay turns heel here. Not here per se, but you're like, I agree with KG.
I think he does in the match.
You think he turns in the match?
I can see it.
I'm gonna say Punk. I've been saying I think we're getting the winter of Punk, man. I think it's the winter of Punk. I don't think we're gonna get a summer of Punk. We're gonna get the winter of Punk, and he's gonna carry it as long as he's healthy into WrestleMania.
I think when Jay officially turns, he's gonna probably do something to Jimmy though. He kind of owes Jimmy that get back from SummerSlam 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And that way they can write Jimmy off. They can write Jimmy off television, so he can go be with Naomi.
Yeah, an attack on Big Jim.
There's still gonna be a little while because I'm sure he still wants to actually wrestle because Naomi's give or take only probably X amount of into the pregnancy, but it might not even need to be that. He might just turn on him. Maybe they don't write Jimmy out there. I don't know. I think that's gonna be the way.
That's a reason why he's gonna have a big part in the Royal Rumble. This might be the time to actually do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all this: does Jimmy touch a title? It'll be a mid-card title most likely before he goes and takes his sabbatical to be with his wife when she has the baby.
Yep.
So that would mean he either
They could have,
because he's bouncing. He was on SmackDown Friday.
yeah, but they could have instead of giving it to Dragunov, who's more than deserving as well. If they were thinking, they could have had. I guess they don't want to keep trading titles with Bloodline members and stuff. Even though Sammy was an honorary Uso, he still technically was in the stable. I would say they could have had Jimmy. I was just sitting up here talking about somebody, and they did what we said they probably should have done. That don't mean Jimmy wasn't deserving just because he's older. Like I was saying, like a younger talent that's potentially needs a push, like a Carmelo Hayes. I wouldn't even think about Ilya Dragunov because I didn't know what his timetable was to return. But
Right.
To answer your question, the They already did one baby. I don't think they're gonna do two baby faces like in a row, dropping the title to another baby face. So if Jimmy gets it, it will probably be the IC title then. And I think he's over enough that they wouldn't boo Jimmy. You don't want somebody to have a moment and they get booed.
Mm-hmm. Because at this point,
because Dom is getting too, because Jimmy wouldn't get booed though. They would cheer for Jimmy.
Yeah, you can't put the tag titles on them on Raw because you don't want them defeating Dragon Lee and AJ.
Well, you said a singles run.
I know. I'm just saying in terms of the time you could put on them because they definitely not gonna put the world heavyweight title.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what I was saying. Or to our buddy's point, maybe he gets that TNA World Championship. Who knows? But that wouldn't be a bad look. But it's just I would want the if they did that, it would have to be at Mania though, because I think Jimmy has earned a right to have a moment where enough fans are viewing it. Should I say? Because there's ways to watch TNA and all that, but I don't want it to be one of those things with Jimmy. Because he's the one person in the bloodline that hasn't touched the title in the original bloodline.
And I watch on Tuesday.
Yeah, because Solo's been champion too.
I wouldn't be mad at Mike Santana versus Jimmy Uso either. I think that'd be a decent little match. All right, but that's our picks, y'all. We got that done. So make sure y'all check out Saturday Night Main Event on Peacock this weekend, this Saturday, most specific. Y'all let us know who y'all think gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Do you think Jimmy gonna interfere and help Jay get the championship? Do you think CM Punk's gonna get the title? Do you think Cody's gonna retain? Do you think Drew's gonna win? Do you think Tiffany could possibly retain? Or do you think Jade's going away with the title? Like, does Dominic do his thing and lie, cheat, steal, and continue to be the IC champion? You know what I mean? Go ahead and do that. Next week we'll talk about AEW. We got Blood and Guts coming up, and from there, Full Gear, is it KG?
Yeah, I could check to see the official date. I had a little time.
Okay, so
it's going crazy in this damn group chat. Sorry.
We'll definitely discuss those at length next week. Tonight you guys got Hot Take After Dark. Y'all getting the Halloween edition. They got real fancy, man. They made some nice little promo videos. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shelly. She did her thing. Got in character. Did her little costume. Shout out to her. I said, check out. I said, look at the Wise Man. Wise Man acting funny, y'all. You see how he acting funny? He got to get his own little show. And what he do? He just promoting that show. You see, I every time I'm on here, I'm saying watch Hot Take and Hot Take After Dark. I ain't heard him say both yet. So I see you, for you. We gonna discuss some things, Wise Man. I'm just playing, but make sure y'all stay tuned. They should be on at about 10:30. Hot Take After Dark. It'll be on the same platforms. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and on Kick, man. So y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. I am going to put the intro like I did on the intro. I'm gonna info there again. Bam! Follow us. TikTok, Hot Take Wrestling. Instagram, Hot Take Wrestling. Twitter or X, Wrestling Take. At Twitch, Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. NMG TV on YouTube. And on Kick, it is NMG Podcast Network. Guys, any last thoughts, any last things you want to say about this thing called professional wrestling before we get out of here?
You were spot on. Blood and Guts is 2 weeks from tonight. And Full Gear is the week before Survivor Series. So there you have that. No, I want to. Oh, Cakes. Song to say. Bailey took a picture of Chris Statlander. What do you want me to say? But all jokes, no. Let me stop. I don't know. I'm not trying to get us in trouble.
War games.
That was uncalled for. It's funny, which is wild. But no, this isn't Hot Take.
Well, this is Hot Take. This ain't Hot Take After Dark.
This is very true. I'm flustered. I'm sorry.
Listen, people. Also, I didn't mention it. War Games. For War Games, we will be having an event where you could come and watch WWE War Games with us. That is November 29th, I believe it is. First time the guys from Hot Take will be doing this type of an event. So y'all come out, watch wrestling with us, talk wrestling with us, take some pictures. You know, we'll shake hands, kiss some babies, all that good stuff. I'm saying that like we, you know, big deal superstars. We're not there yet, man. You know, we like NXT. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we down to do all that stuff still. So it'll still be a good time. Definitely some good food, some good drinks. So I'll have more of that information as we go on. Make sure you're following us on social media. We post that every other day, so you guys are in the know. I know tickets are on sale right now. You can get a $10 discount, I believe it is. Good brother Kill told me, with the promo code Hot Take or HTAD, which is Hot Take After Dark, and then I think it's HTWP, which is Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. So those are the promo codes. You get $10 off. Come and watch War Games with the Hot Take Wrestling crew. All right. I don't know if all of us is going to be there, but we're going to try to create Voltron in person. And maybe we can get some pictures with everybody and, you know, chill out vibe and have a good time. All right. Ill Will, Mr. Clutch is back, baby. Good to have you on the show, my good brother. You got anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
That date works for me, so I definitely will be there. Only thing I touch on is I do want to point out, because it was never to be acknowledged, no pun intended, that we're in the last day of Cena. The few occasions you're gonna see him, gonna be whatever it is. I believe it. I don't think it's gonna be one of those spins. So if you're a Cena fan, if you ain't been watching, it's the best time to watch to get the end of it. Aside from that, this is the end of our episode. And yeah, once again, it's good to go back and talk wrestling with the brothers.
All right. Likewise, my good brother. All right, y'all. So I want to thank y'all again for watching us, people. We will be back next week, same time, same bat channel. We got started a little bit later this week, so we will be on track next week at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. So until then, y'all know what to do.
Until then, 5 letters, one word. Sleep.
This guy. All right, y'all. It's Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. We'll catch y'all next week.